Hello, everyone, and welcome to another session of Journey to Ragnarok, a campaign of very mythical proportions. As always, we open with a very special poem by our local bard, Astrid.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here to recount in verse what was important the last session.
Sure.
Unparalleled Aethelfrig, Uther's daughter, unbothered by animals, Astrid's bane. Owner of sawmill and fair of face, your muscles move mightily while plying your trade. Your thighs are like tree trunks, and your head brushes the heavens. Birds build near your brow, amongst the autumn glory of your hair, mistaking red for residence. Feet planted firmly as axe you anchor, cleaving the chestnut just like Astrid's heart. Salt sweat bedews ample acreage as blade bites through bark. The sight seduces. Bard is left woozy and bereft of words. And we did some other stuff too. I don't really remember what it was. Wait. Should I read from, notes of what actually happened? I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, fine. I will read from notes of what actually happened.
The real tale this time, please.
Fine, okay. Here we go. Wolves leader on the lamb, the party ponders what way they should query the unquiet town before deliberation between dueling factions. Townspeople to talk to, artisans to ask about odd attacks by animals beneath a large birch. Through the woods wending, bird and bear battering, but life becomes leaves as murder and bruin are beat. From birch comes the Trevader, dangerous dryad, livid at the larceny of her living home. With lightning they lave her, Tobias in Sturmir, taking cues from Thor to cause caustic pain, while Astrid attracts arrows and attempts to reason. Fire-hearted Gwyn kills all with controlled burn.
Now that's more like it. Let me give you a little insight into what I was thinking real quick as that started. So every time we have a new session, I, the DM, get sent these, poetic recaps, and I was sat there and I was like, oh dear God, did I miss a change? I was sent the poem earlier in the day. Did I misread? Did I miss something?
Were.
And then as I pulled it up and I started reading, I was like, oh, she's bullshit.
Oh.
That's how it is.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm all
That's how
for
it
that
is.
love poem. That was fine.
Yes, that's how it is.
That does summarize the session. That's all Astrid will remember until we get into the woods.
That's
And
true.
Accurate.
And
That's
right?
now I pull up my NPC checklist. Oh, this one dies. Check.
Oh. Man. Come on now.
Well, as we get into
He will
the real
definitely be in
game,
Valhalla. It's fine.
as we get into
That's true.
the real game, you are all walking back. You have all reached the edge of the village. I believe Tobias and Sturmir, arms full of the birch bark and wood from the tree. Welcome home. Well, home for now.
Suppose we're going to the merchant.
I guess we should tell
he can
Manfred that everything's fine.
Mm-hmm. It was Manfred who was gonna make us the stuff, right? If we brought him back. Okay.
And he was the one who, even squirrels were attacking him in the woods, so.
Okay. Yeah.
Which, given what we've seen, makes sense.
It does.
And
It
it's
does.
likely that you handled the situation.
That is my guess.
So you guys head back to the shop.
Mm-hmm.
guys head back to the shop. Manfred's just kind of sitting around, looking, going over his stock of arrows and his tools as you walk in.
We've returned, Manfred.
Oh, good. Have you handled the woods?
To the
Yes.
best of our knowledge, I would say yes.
Oh, we handled the wood all right, Manfred.
Oh, well, good. I see you brought back some of the tree.
Figured we'd save you at least one trip.
Thank you for this. Here, please have your pick of arrows. On me. He looks at you, Astrid, and says, "Here you go," and hands back the bolt and says, "I've studied this with the bark and more of the tree that you've brought me. It shouldn't take long. Maybe come back in an hour, and I'll have a full quiver for you."
Wonderful. Thank you so much. You're a genius. I think we're gonna be around for a while, so we'll be back. It might not be exactly an hour.
It all depends on how long it takes us to resolve this situation at hand.
Let's see. Did that pop up on your screens as a handout? Did that work?
Nothing.
Okay. Hold on. Let me fix this. There you go.
Oh.
A. Treat anyone
Cool.
rolled on a damage die as a 2.
Oh.
Oh,
Same
Nice.
will go for crossbow bolts.
Oh, yay.
I mean, I don't have a bow to use, but...
I'm assuming I can use this for my bow as well, right?
Yep, these arrows work on any bow.
How many do I get?
He would give you a quiver and a quiver full of 20. So you get the quiver and 20 arrows.
Okay. Sounds good.
20
I'm gonna
long
mark that
way
down.
arrows. Put them in my inventory, but I don't know that it'll do any good for now. I don't have a bow.
If nothing else, you might be able to sell them
Sell them or
for
keep
a pretty
them for
price.
if people need to use it in the party.
Oh, and also, congratulations. You just completed the quest entitled, "You Are Not Welcome."
I definitely would like to keep talking with you, Manfred, about possibly supplying arrows to my father and his troops.
If it's good business, I'll take it.
I don't know. Selling arrows to a king? Does that sound like good business? She kind of looks around at the rest of the gang.
Give me.
I would say it could be quite profitable.
Give me a persuasion with advantage.
Okay. First roll. We got the. I didn't roll my practice. Oop, forgot to do that advantage. So there's that.
13.
You do have a leftover inspiration if you want to reroll.
Ooh, let me do that. Come on.
Well, that's performance.
It's
Oh, whoops.
not the right
Hi,
skill.
hello, I'm
You
fine. They're right next to each other,
They
guys.
are right next to each other.
Well,
Nope. 13 it is.
Well, it's still a 13. Which honestly, it's enough. He says, well, I can certainly start writing up a missive and a report to send. I'll get right on it.
Perfect. I would be so happy to take that to my father for you.
Yeah, he says, I get to work on these bolts of yours. If you come back, I should have both the missive and the bolts ready for you, as I said, in an hour.
Perfect. Love it. Thank you.
Is there anything else I can help any of you with?
We should probably mention that, yeah, your problem should be taken care of. There seemed to have been a rather unpleasant resident of that tree who was not super happy about it being chopped up, but circle of life, etc., etc. I don't know. Maybe it might be a good idea for you to find another tree just in case.
Yes, I think so.
For the sake of crafting, would the wood that I cut up be usable for anything special?
I will tell you that mundane items will get you... Well, mundane crafting materials will get you mundane items.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was wondering if it was, like, infused with the dryad or anything like that. I was curious.
Yeah, most of the crafting rules that I will be using encourage you to absolutely take apart any monsters that you kill.
Noted.
Thrilling.
I'm gonna get a surgical specialty. Field dressing.
All I know
What it's
is
called?
I need to get my strength score up by 1, and then I can wield Iron Claw fully effectively.
Ooh, cool.
Okay, so where to now, friends? We've solved that little side problem. Do we think it's related to what's going on?
It could be, but I feel like... I don't know. It's more of a tandem problem. Because, you know, the attacks that the Dryad was causing were of animals of her own design, I guess. And I feel like...
How far away did we say that other villages where this problem happened?
Oh, it's too far for us to travel and check out.
Well, no, I know that much, but...
I think I said it was about a 3 days journey. It is too far for you to be able to go there as...
What I'm getting at is it'd be too far away to be related to this isolated incident, which is closer to this village.
That's a good point.
And to go back and just explain a bit further why going to Dreamandabu, because I actually found out it's in the book. You can visit there. That's not me. I'm going to go back on my word and say take back my railroading, because it's actually a place you can visit. However, it'd be a bit difficult to visit now, as both the Eye soldiers and the Wolf soldiers kind of see you guys as the intermediaries, and the second you
not doing anything while we're here.
The second you fully leave the village, not just helping people out with stuff, there's probably going to be a fight.
Like the village boundaries, like the outskirts even.
Well, I guess maybe we should go on with the plan that we came up with last time.
Is there any more information we could collect? Because we're about to parley.
Is there anybody in town that we have not spoken to in regards to this scenario? We visited the Icy Crows in their keep. They won't come out until the conflict is resolved. We talked to the bar keep who's housing the
one we fully, I know, haven't talked to, really. It didn't go so well last time.
Which one? Who?
And Astra would very much like to go there.
Oh, yeah, well, no, she told us that she doesn't... She didn't
She
think that
doesn't
the
care.
eyes did it, but she doesn't want to take a side.
Yeah.
The only thing that we haven't really done are the sort of foot soldiers or whatever of the eyes. We talked to the commander, but we haven't gotten their take on it.
Which I think we were going to do before we went to get them to parlay.
Right.
We also wanted to try to talk to the people who have been traveling with. Oh my goodness, I can't recall his name. It escapes me. The current leader of the wolves that's here, because we wanted to talk to the underlings and Oleg. Yeah, we wanted to talk to the underlings and see if Oleg has been acting differently recently. That was the other thing that we wanted to do.
That already happened. You did talk to them. You talked to one of them, and he said that he was kind of scared of Oleg recently, but was still following him because he's a loyal wolf.
That's right.
It's the eye we haven't talked to, the soldiers.
Right.
I mean, we talked a little, but not enough.
The only thing that we did with the soldiers is ask them to tell the commander we were there, so...
Well, one guy spoke to us, we didn't really speak a whole lot back, so...
And I just put the status of the NPCs in the chat there. The Icy Crows want either side gone. Manfred wants a peaceful solution. Edval, the hunter, will support the eye. Tully supports the wolves, and Aethelfrig will choose either side that you choose. You just have to beat her at her challenges.
So we do need to go back to her.
Oh no, we have to go back to her. Oh no.
Astrid is so upset about that.
Oh no.
And you do, I will remind everyone in saying that, I will remind, you don't need everyone, you just need the majority of the votes against one side or the other, or for, kicking them both out, essentially.
Neutral and peaceful is, I take it as either side that we get.
Well, the Icy Crows, neutral for them means that if you bring...
The situation's resolved.
Well, if you bring majority of the villagers to the Icy Crows temple, and those majority of, if you brought Edval and Manfred to the... if you brought Edval, Manfred, and Aethelfrig to the
and Tully, maybe,
temple in favor of the eye, the Icy Crows will say, the eye get to stay, we're kicking out the wolves. If you bring Manfred, Tully, and Aethelfrig in support of the wolves to the Icy Crows will say, the wolves will stay, we're kicking out the eyes. But then if you bring, majority for the peaceful solution, they'll say, well, then they both gotta go. So essentially, you have to bring the favor of majority of the villagers to the crows, or you can go through with your plans of getting both sides to talk to each other, but I will say that the crows specifically said, hey, we're using you guys as basically our negotiators, go talk to people, and then when you have a solution, come back to us and we'll enact it.
Okay. Alright, that's good. Okay, that helps.
So that could change our plans.
Now,
I say could.
I think the question here is, do we want to aim for one of these sides in particular? I know Tobias has some deep desire to want to help his clansmen, but he also recognizes something weird is going on.
Something's happening.
But it looks like we have three options, unless we forcefully carve out a fourth one. So it's eye, wolves, or peaceful solution. Do we want to aim for a peaceful solution? Yeah.
Hey, I feel like Astrid, anyway, wants the truth. She wants to get to the root of this because she is afraid that this is part of the whole, broader situation of everything going wrong.
Right.
And hopefully that's a peaceful solution. I mean, hopefully if if we can say, no, here's what actually happened, as to sort of go along with their sort of conflicting stories, then that might lend itself to a peaceful solution. If they both can say, oh, shoot, we were both wrong, there's this other force working, or whatever.
Right.
Because if we get the crows to kick them both out, they could just go fight elsewhere.
Yeah.
It doesn't really solve the problem. I think we might all be on the same page as, like, you know,
The parlay,
we don't need
the
to.
fourth option would probably
Yeah,
I think you're right.
they just both stay and they don't kill each other.
Mhm.
It could
If
be
we can,
easier
hey,
said than done.
you know, we just got through a situation where kind of unlikely allies had us do something. Remember
Yeah.
that medallion?
We still have the medallion.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
You guys know
I
more
think
about that than I do.
I think it's going to be useful in our negotiations, but I think we still need, additional.
Oh no, absolutely. But what I'm saying is that's an example that we could set before them
Oh yeah,
and say, look, if we've got this broader issue happening, we all need to band together, etc.
yeah.
Not to ruin plans. I just don't want you guys getting the wrong idea. It's not the eye and the wolf you have to convince. You have to convince the crows. The crows want one of them gone.
But it wouldn't hurt to convince them.
No, but
It wouldn't hurt for them to be like, okay, let's bury our hostilities, and
at the end of the day, the crows want one of those clans gone from the village.
Okay.
Or both.
Or both.
So, regardless of if we go through the parlay, we still have to get either one or both of them gone.
Right.
Yeah,
If we can
otherwise
reach
the
it-
crows
Which
don't
we
come.
could
Yeah,
accomplish with the parlay.
If we reach a good parlay, we could get them both to leave. Because if their reasons for staying here is basically, you're a dick, no, you're a dick. Like, it'd be like, you both are dicks, fucking leave. Like, go away.
Yeah.
They both suck, now get out.
Basically.
Okay, so I think the only thing between here and there is just talking to the soldiers at this point, right? From Odin's Eye?
If we want to go the parlay route, if we want to go with one of the village routes, we need to get Aethelfrig on either side.
Okay.
How's everybody feeling? She says, trying not to make it meta. Astrid is punctured. Very punctured.
I can almost feel you just sort of walking that direction anyway.
And
One
in
stubbed her
terms
toe.
of, in terms of specific ways to help, I'm feeling pretty drained.
Mm-hmm. We can walk and talk while we venture forth towards Aethelfrig's carpentry. But my personal preference in all this is finding a peaceful solution. We need to understand why both clans are present here in the Icy Crow settlement.
Mm-hmm.
We know a basic idea of why they both hate each other.
I'm just wondering if maybe we could sit down for maybe an hour.
Let's just walk slowly. You'll be fine. It's okay.
Gwen, I'm bleeding.
If you really need to rest and we really need to walk, I can carry you.
Okay, let's go with that.
And you just feel a sudden weight on your back because Astrid just jumps on your back. You're like, no, decision made. Blep.
No, I just stand in front of you and do kind of a trust fall, just swoon.
Yeah, I just catch you and put you on my shoulder.
Excellent, like a parrot.
Fireman
No,
carry.
like a sack of potatoes, actually.
Oh, okay, that's fine too. I'm still bleeding.
Tobias kind of just looks at you, Sturmir, and says, You know, this will not be the last time you indulge Astrid's
It's a
behavior.
bad precedent. It's a bad precedent. You're not wrong.
If I have to mediate the situation, I will.
All right.
It is as close as I can get to my father's job away from the village.
Tobias,
All right.
roll me a dexterity saving throw with disadvantage.
Ah, shit. Here we go again.
No.
Disadvantage, you said?
Yep.
Okay. 1, 2.
Oh.
Right.
Okay.
Unless the person who whispered me can get a natural 20, which they don't, a snowball goes right over your, like, not even close anywhere to you. Like, it goes completely, like, right field. Like,
I'm not even looking. It's just like, oh, the day you hit me, Gwen, I'm sure Ragnarok will come.
Oh,
Don't-
take that back.
Don't tempt me. You just hear from the back, really grumpy sounding. Don't tempt me.
and since it has been a while, you guys did speak with the eye soldiers, and that's the gist of what they told you.
Yeah.
Right, so out of character. The reason why they were deployed was because they were told that Raymandapu was under attack?
The reason why they were deployed was because the wolves have been attacking settlements under King Asbjorn on the borders. They were dispatched to the borders of
They just
Asbjorn's
stumbled
territory,
upon Draymandabu.
and they were following the wolves to Draymandabu, where they were then accused of being the ones who murdered the wolves. This is the story from the eye soldiers. The wolves then attacked them. They fought back. They followed the wolves to this village, and now there's a standoff.
Got it.
And the wolf story is that they kind of keep an eye on this village and found the eyes there after the massacre.
Yes. And they accused the eye, and the eye were the first to draw blades. However, you were told from one of the wolf soldiers that it was in fact Oleg who was the first to draw a blade.
Right, so it'd be
not really the soldiers.
Okay,
Right.
so hearing that, I think it's really important for all of us to take note that the wolves come here. Like, we already know that they had a somewhat of a presence established here because they're friends with the bar owner, but they have a consistent presence here. So while parlay is the option that both Mackenzie and Gwen want to go with, it would make more sense to tell Odin's Eye to be like, hey, your guys' mission is accomplished, everything's fine, friggin' go home. Because this isn't a stopping point for them on a regular basis, while it is for the wolves.
they're not going to want to go home while they're being accused.
I know.
I agree with you, but yeah.
That's why parlay is my ultimate goal. But
Yeah.
when the parlay has been achieved, it's kind of like, hey, you guys, mission accomplished. And guess what? Princess Astrid is here to deliver that message.
Right. Right. No, I think we will. Ooh, I shouldn't. Okay, knock on wood. I think that we'll be able to make them agree that parlay is a good idea. I think we could make the soldiers bring pressure on their leaders, if nothing else, because they want this to be settled.
I believe our
So-
split when we do go talk to the leaders was me and Gwen, and then Astrid and Tobias.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And Astrid goes not to the camp of the Odin's Eye, because that would be too obvious.
But yeah, we wanted it
Yeah.
to look fair in terms
But
of us being able to decide and having them do this. There was a sigh.
I'm just trying to remember. So the reason that we didn't want to send Astrid to the Odin's Eye was because we didn't want it to seem like it was coming from a power of authority that they needed to meet. It was a power of diplomacy.
Right, but my position as opposed to hers, she's princess, but I'm Just, I guess, sort of like War Master, but not really, not yet.
Mhm.
Okay. Because my hesitancy of sending Astrid with Tobias is you're sending, no offense, but you're sending a sheep into the lion's den. Or a hare into the wolf's den because of her position and their knowledge of who she is.
Hey, listen, did you see
There's
how
no
many
good way to
arrows I
split it
took?
up.
I also saw
My-
how many blades you can take. That's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
very
yeah.
many.
No, it's not. My thinking for me being the one to go to the wolves is as a sign of good faith. Like, I'm here to ask you this.
I'll put this out there. There's no good way to split the party if we're worried about
Yeah.
Astra going in with the wolves.
Listen,
And
Tully
she
likes
can't go to
me.
the eye.
I agree with that. I still have my reserves about her going to the wolves because of that. But if we're gonna go with the non-hostile route, she has to leave all of her weapons.
Yeah.
She can leave
Sure.
them with Gwen, it's fine. But
Sure,
she has
yeah.
to leave all of her weapons.
So does that mean
Okay.
you have to stitch up her mouth?
Rude. But true. Yeah, that's fine. Counterpoint. Have you seen Tobias's muscles?
I've got a strength of 11.
I have 8, so, anything's better. I'm just saying I'm not going in alone.
I don't think anybody in this group would let you go in alone, Astrid, but all of us in this group want you to be safe. You've already tried to die twice. You can't take your ride with the Valkyries just yet.
Well,
I won't
No.
let anything happen to Astrid.
It's not you I'm worried about her letting anything happen to her. It's her I'm worried about letting anything happen to her.
I appreciate that, and you are right.
I'm sorry,
Don't
I didn't
always
hear that.
do-
Would you say that again?
I don't. Okay.
Just picks up rock off ground and starts etching it in stone.
I just would like everybody to remember that I'm having this conversation while I'm slung over Stormer's shoulder.
Yeah, from what I gather, we're still walking.
So this is all
Yeah.
muffled in your back. This is okay. I said, Gwen, that you are right. I don't always do the safest thing.
I'd imagine you leaning up, just like with your elbow on my back and your head on your hand. Just
okay.
Very
my
Fiona
chin, yeah.
from
Mhm.
Shrek getting carried. You're like
Exactly.
at that stage.
Okay, yeah, I like it. It's canon. Yeah, I don't always do the smartest thing, but I do, and I really truly believe this. I don't think that I'm not trying to do this to deceive. If I go talk to Oleg, it's because I want this to work. It's because I actually want there to be a fair solution. So I'm not going there to lie to him.
I believe you. I just want you to be safe.
I mean,
Well,
That's all.
thank you.
You're not really safe any other time, so could you try to do that now? Please?
I don't know. I feel pretty safe right now.
I know. I know. Tobias, just try to keep her alive and don't be afraid to cover her mouth, because sometimes that's what you have to do.
I'll knock her out if I have to. We will get out of this alive.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
She has a point.
Alright, I won't.
so, have we reached Lethal Freaks? I assume we have.
It depends. If that's where you're walking, yes.
I assume that's where we were walking, was it not?
We
Yeah.
I
probably
think
would
it
have
was,
split.
yes.
We probably would have split at some point because Pi just basically gave us all the information from the Odin's Eye guards, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. I did, because that
So-
was information you would have already known.
Yeah. So now we split. So basically, drop off Gwen or drop off Astrid or pass her to
Just pass.
Brian.
I was off my shoulder.
Yeah,
No,
if
I'll
you
sit her down.
yeah, if you had Astrid slung, if Astrid insists on being carried, Tobias is just gonna drag her.
Oh no, I'm gonna be taking more damage instead of feeling better. It's good, it's fine. I'll walk now.
All right.
Thank you, Sturmir.
It is my pleasure.
Astrid, higher or lower?
Oh,
Higher.
Oh.
Yes! I don't
Oh
know.
snap!
I don't know
I hope
if
that's
that's
good.
good. Yeah.
I mean, I can tell you the outcome if you want.
Oh, yeah.
The outcome of that, you got higher, so it's in your favor. Aethelfrig does not see you being carried around by Sturmir and does not give a nod of disapproval.
Oh, thank God. Okay. Good. Yes, good.
Nice.
I'm fine. I'm wounded and I am walking on my own like a strong person.
I'm a strong, independent Norse woman.
Yes.
all right. So, did you want to attempt Aethelfrig's challenge, Astrid?
I don't think I have the muscles for it, quite frankly. I just want to watch.
Well, you're going to have to impress her if you want to win her favor, Astrid.
Well,
And perhaps your spirit will be enough to compensate.
maybe we should find out what the challenge is first.
I know, I fully intended on doing that. I just wanted to give you a hard time as a friend.
Oh. Ha 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 ha.
Alright, let's go.
Okay, well we're gonna follow you two then. If you go to Aethelfrig's sawmill.
I think we were planning to
Oh,
go
I think
together.
Yeah, we
to
were all going
the
together.
sawmill, and then yeah.
Oh, I thought
The
this
split up was
split.
when they go to the wolves and we go to the eye.
Okay, so you're all going to the sawmill then.
Yeah.
Right, and then we'll split up afterwards.
Okay, you all go to the sawmill. Same scene. She's standing there, towering over all of you, basically chopping wood.
Alright,
Who exactly is attempting this challenge?
Well, I'm
Well-
gonna see something again. Because it's funny. I'm using the power of the DM and saying because it's funny, I'm gonna make a roll. So I'm gonna ask again, Astrid, higher or lower?
Let's go lower this time. Oh, fuck.
As you're all walking and you're kind of standing there, deciding on who's going to talk to Aethelfrig, you don't know if it was one of your party members. You don't know if maybe you just tripped, but suddenly you find yourself kind of pushed to the front of the group.
Oh, I would not put it past anybody in this group to have done that on purpose. But I
Okay.
wouldn't, I wouldn't have been paying attention to that.
Maybe it's the forces of the gods.
It's Freya.
Aethelfrig, we've returned.
I
Again, not even taking her eyes off her work. She just says, "So, you're here back for the challenges?"
Aye.
One loud slam of her hatchet into the wood, and you see her. First of all, she slams the hatchet into the wood, splitting the log, and she takes her hatchet out of the log, and she looks at the group and says, "So, which one of you is the strongest?"
Well, if we're going by strength score, probably me.
Oh yeah. Tobias kind of just glances in your direction.
So Astrid is kind of like hanging on Gwen for support, and she goes, "Do you think she means physically or emotionally?"
You don't qualify for either one. I'm sorry.
I have very strong emotions. What are you talking about?
Yeah, the wrong kind of.
You can
what do
you can barely breathe. You can barely stand. You can barely hold yourself together. I would say even strength emotionally right now, you are not fit for any challenge.
Emotions. Strong emotions.
I guess that would be me. Stepping up.
As you step up, she puts her arm down on the log for arm wrestling.
Oh, fun.
So, Tobias, Sturmir, Gwen, no, wait, who are you? Right, Sturmir. You're probably gonna lose, but try to make it good. And I pat you on the shoulder. And you have Bardic now.
Ooh, inspirations. Let's go.
Tobias is gonna also pat him on the shoulder and say, "Stretch well. You're going to need to be at your top condition, top form. Yeah, you should stretch." That's guidance.
Okay, so you have a D4, and you have.
Hey, Thor, grant
are
me
we at
strength.
a D6. What's the bardic inspiration?
We are at a D6, indeed.
Okay, so you, my good friend, this is just straight strength versus strength.
Okay.
So you'll roll your strength, and she'll roll hers. Ooh, okay. You beat her in the first round, but you gotta beat her again.
Okay.
Here's her second roll of a 10. Alright, you win. You bring her hand down. She looks surprised at someone having beaten her for the first time in what feels like a long time. She looks at you and says, "You give a good fight." As she stands up, and she looks at the rest of you and says, "However, he's beaten me once. Who's next for the next challenge?"
Ooh.
Gwen will pipe up and say, "What does the next challenge entail?"
She grabs one of the unsplit logs next to her and says, "You have to throw this further than I can."
Tobias is following his own advice and stretching, giving himself guidance.
I step down and just get ready to watch, I guess.
Tobias,
Yes.
try to do your best in front of my girlfriend, okay? I don't
Tobias
want her
is-
to think that I'm hanging around with lame people.
Tobias is like heartily chuckling. You can see his shoulders bounce, but he's gonna pop. What is it called? Nuts. the thingy. The not
Blood
Evil
curse?
Craft, not blood craft. The other thing, mutagen craft. Yeah, that thing. The thing that gives me +3 dexterity.
Well, that's fun, because it's a strength check.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay. Well. All right. Maybe I won't pop that.
Let's see.
All right. Let's do this.
Alright, well, strength check v strength check.
Do I just type in? It's just a
Just
straight
tap
roll, I think.
Yeah.
You had Bardic in case you didn't
Oh,
know
okay.
that's what I was doing.
Bardic and guidance.
Okay. So, am I allowed to add those to the roll by?
I didn't even use mine. I didn't need to.
Hold on a second. Yes, you can.
Okay. I'm gonna do this one first. There we go.
19.
Hooah!
Nice.
There you go.
Ooh, I actually didn't roll correctly for her.
Oh shit.
Uh-oh.
Hold on. Oops, that's my bad.
Did I say 1d20? I meant 1d100. Okay. Well, that's a good roll.
Yeah, that's the appropriate roll for her.
If you
Astrid
added
claps.
4 to the other number, it'd only be 17. I'm just saying.
I mean, that's fair. If
Do you have a D6?
I need to do something
Astrid
else.
is totally clapping for the
it'd
Amazon.
be a 19 if you took the 11 and added the 6 to it like you were supposed to.
Wow, okay, if this math is insane.
That would be a
17.
17.
No, hold on.
17, yeah, no. Ignore me, I'm kind of tired.
Okay, so you throw it pretty far, Tobias. Like, say, let's see. Hold on. You throw the log about 50 feet into the snow.
Okay.
She throws it about 80 feet. You fail this test, and this is very funny. This is a legit thing it says. You take 6 points of humiliation damage. It is psychic. You take 6 points of psychic humiliation damage.
Oh no.
Okay. Well, my head hurts for some strange reason, but how about we make it a best 2 out of 3?
She grabs 2 more logs.
I'm gonna die from humiliation. Okay, hold on. Let me adjust my hit points. Humiliation damage.
Here's her throw.
Okay.
Oh,
Still have Bardic. You didn't use it.
I'm stretching while she's throwing. But yeah, I'm gonna roll my Bardic this time because I think I need it. Ooh!
hi.
You guys tie, which means we go to round 3, and I'm not allowing guidance on this one.
Okay.
Will you accept shenanigans?
What type of shenanigans?
So, is it possible
Yes.
as Tobias throws the log that Astrid can give it a little extra push with Mage Hand?
That's awesome.
If she can't do that, I would like to involve in the shenanigans as well.
Okay, how would you like to do shenanigans?
So I would like to do, if you'd allow it. Actually, it says it works on an ability check. Can I reaction cast Silvery Barbs and make her re-roll that 20?
Oh my god!
Oh.
Sure. I'll allow that because give me
Oh my god!
just give me a sleight of hand real quick.
Sure. I'm gonna fuck this up, guys.
That's so much better than Mage Hand. You got this. Ooh.
Okay, so you're able to cast it. It's not very sneakily. But I will re-roll for her.
I did say that I was like cheering.
That is
For
true.
her,
So
so-
I'll say the cheering overpowers your verbal casting.
Thank you.
She got an 8.
Oh
What
boy.
does this look like, Pi?
Oh yeah, and then I'm giving the advantage obviously to Tobias.
Yeah, so 15.
Okay, so that'll be 18.
Yeah, so you are
It just
able
sails out of sight.
you're able to throw it further than she is on this third go around, and she kind of nods her head, and then, congratulates you as she looks finally at Gwyn and Astrid for the final challenge, which she explains involves breaking a shield in half with their bare hands.
Oh boy.
That's exactly what Astrid is doing, by the way.
Gwen will nod and step forward to do the challenge.
Astrid just kind of pets you and goes, "Good luck."
As Gwyn's running up, I kind of mutter in her ear, "Do you think it's just breaking it with your hands in any fashion? Don't you have magic for this?"
I really wish you wouldn't whisper so loud.
No, I'm only whispering loud enough for the mic to pick me up.
I know. I'm being sarcastic to you, as I'm basically saying, duh, I'm aware I have magic. And
Okay.
I will hurry.
That's kind of my whole
I'm
thing.
just making sure. I pat you on the back. You don't need to be so rude. I'm just being
Gwen's
supportive.
just like, yeah, it's kind of my whole thing, duh.
Not being rude, being sarcastic.
So yes, you have what, guidance and bardic now.
Okay, cool.
How much bardic do you have left?
One more.
Oh, we should probably save that for the parlay.
I have Pi's inspiration. I still have my bardic inspiration. How long does guidance last?
I think it's just a
Like-
minute.
A minute.
Yeah, I got into
until
the
you
minute.
use it, you know.
Well, either way, that's gone. I still have both inspirations, so
So it's a strength check to bust the shield.
Okay, so what I'd like to do is I would like to take a step back from everybody as far as I can, and try not to be in any area where I may cause damage. And I will hold the shield out in front of me, and I would like to cast Thunder Wave, but
Yes.
but use my Wizard of Scribes and change the element to fire and essentially just like melt it and like break it in half that way. And I'm willing to spend a first level spell slot, but if you will allow me to control it and like center it on the shield and snap it in half like she wants me to, I will willingly give up one level 2 spell, or even 2 if you'll let me do it like that.
Sure, you'll use a spell slot for it.
Would you like me to give up a level 2 spell slot since I'm asking to kind of bend the rules about the Thunder
Sure.
Wave spell? Okay. So yeah, I just like solder it in half.
you
With your bare hands.
cast your thunder wave.
I controlled my Thunder Wave, thank you very much. It was a fire wave too, so it was just like a whole thing of fire just like whoosh, and like goes straight down the middle of the shield, and she just breaks it in half because of that.
Yeah, you break it in half, and Aethelfrig is, kind of standing there. She eventually she's trying to break it and eventually uses her knee as leverage to shatter it. But you break it first.
With almost what looked like little to no effort.
Yeah, pretty much. But she's like sweating because that was a lot of power she
It was
exuded.
just a lot of heat.
It's really hot. And I will drop the 2 pieces of the shield, and you can hear them as they both fall separately onto the ground, just so if she's not even looking, just to indicate that I had successfully split it into 2.
Mm-hmm. As you split it into 2, and as she snaps her own shield across her knee, ooh, you know what? This is a fun one. Astrid, higher or lower?
Oh.
Let's go low again. Sure, why not?
Well, you got lower, and in this case, I think it's gonna work in your
Oh.
favor.
Okay, phew.
Well, maybe work in your favor.
I don't know. It's funny if it doesn't.
Maybe.
In my head, it's gonna work in your favor, but that also depends on how Astrid reacts.
Uh-oh.
She snaps her own shield, walks up, congratulates you, Gwyn, and then walks up to you, Astrid, looking down at you. She puts one of her hands on your shoulders and says,
Oh, I got this one.
she puts her hand on your shoulder and says, so which side would you like me to support, princess? And looks directly at you.
I think I want, sorry, what was the question?
She just looks at you with a not quizzical look, but at like a half smile on her face.
Oh, right. Right. So I will tell you that we are going to. We're very good at. We are going to do our best to figure out the truth of this situation. Do we... And Astrid sort of gestures with her hand to her companions, but she's not taking her eyes off. Do we really want to say pick a side right now?
I mean, if the parlay goes bad, we probably want her to have picked a side. So...
We feel like maybe there's something bigger at play here than this mystery. Which side do we want her to... I don't know which side we want her to pick.
She will...
Which side do you trust more?
She does look at you, because this conversation's happening. She's right here.
Oh yeah, I know.
She does say, if you're trying to get both of them to talk to each other, consider that a lost point already for you. They'll likely kill each other if you put them side by side.
You know what? I don't think they will.
Well, you have more
Complete
hope in
sentence.
people than I have seen.
Well, I think that there is maybe some sort of power in trying to do the right thing. And I think that's what we're trying to do. And I hope that the gods will be with us. And so, do you want me to tell you how to vote, or do you want to come and see what the truth is?
I am not for either side. I'll support whatever you support, but know that bloodshed is likely. They both sides are out for blood.
I guess if we have to deal with that when the time comes, we will, but our ultimate goal is peace. As I'm just leaning on the handle of my great warhammer.
So Astrid finally, turns around a little bit and says, I truly do not know what to say right now in terms of sides. That's the honest truth.
We could always wait until the outcome of our parley.
Yeah.
And then if we have to, we'll have to pick a side.
Well, until then, I have work I need to get back to. And she walks back to go and cut down the trees. You feel like this giant weight has been lifted literally off of your shoulder, Astrid.
I think I might pass out.
I'm gonna walk over, support her, just as we're walking away. You did good. You actually spoke that time, at least.
I just...
Come on, princess. We need to go talk to the two party leaders.
Okay. Alright, we got this. We got this, right?
That sounds
Indeed.
reassuring.
Well, we can only hope, and if we hope wrong, we will fix it as it becomes wrong. I don't know. My dad's in charge of brokering treaties and stuff like that. Not me. This is entirely new for me.
You know what, though?
Have you never watched your dad broker treaties?
I mean, I have, but I just wanted to study and learn, and learning about brokering treaties wasn't exactly a full priority for me. It got me out, but...
But you know how to think. You're good at assessing information, and we need
Yes,
that.
I could understand that. War meetings were always kind of thrilling.
I'm
No.
sure we'll be fine.
Right. We have to try.
Alright, so who's going where?
I believe the split was Tobias and Astra to the wolves, and Gwyn and I to the eye.
Yes.
Alright, well...
Can we say that was a short rest?
I'm going to say, unfortunately, no, because you took
Okay.
part in the challenges.
You're right, I did. All good.
And everyone kind of... You didn't? I
Let's
guess...
say Astrid
I'll
really
give-
didn't.
I would give you, and only you...
And
the
I
short
carried
rest,
her,
Astrid.
so... Yeah.
So
Well, I was tossing around Bardic during the
you
challenges.
were. So then
No, that's fine.
I take it back.
It's good. It's fine.
All
I
right.
ain't even mad.
So we're gonna stay on this screen then, but we will go with Sturmir and Gwyn. You guys split off and you begin walking to the Odin's Eye camp. You see the flags flying a bit of the ways outside of the village. You approach. You're greeted by the soldiers who let you in. What do you wish to do as you enter the camp?
I assume our intention would be to go find the commander and tell him our plan. Have them parley.
Do have a word with the soldiers if you get the chance, though, just to get, more data.
I think we've already hit that cap of data.
Yeah,
I think that's what Pi kind of gave us
data.
before.
Yeah.
Alright. Never mind.
I love your enthusiasm for collecting data, though. Fully support that.
More information is always better. But I think we're just going to the commander's tent.
You can enter the commander's tent. Commander Gunner. You see he's, again, he's still kind of standing over his war map as you enter.
Still studying your war map, Commander.
Yeah, we're figuring out where the wolves may move next.
As to the current situation that we find ourselves trying to mediate, we want to arrange a parley. Between you and the leader of the wolves.
You want us to talk with those who attacked me and my men for no reason?
We're trying to find the truth of the whole situation. We feel like there could be something more to the situation than what we've been given.
The truth is, we followed them to that village where we found the massacre. They accused us of starting it. As he kind of turns around, he kind of give me insight checks, both of you. You notice he kind of winces in pain a little bit as he turns around to face you, both of you, and he continues saying, "They threw accusations at us, and then attacked, as I said, me and my men. So unless you have some really good words right now, it is unlikely we will talk with them."
We seek nothing more than a brief interaction to learn both sides, and as a representative of the IC Crows, I can organize such a meeting. It will not require much of your time, and for the end result of it would definitely end up currying favor. And
As the
incurring
Crows
favor
have
comes with
asked-
victory.
As the Crows have asked, we will be mediating the whole interaction.
Gwyn, give me a persuasion with disadvantage.
Disadvantage? Hey!
Let's see here.
I don't still have guidance, do I? Do I still have her bardic inspiration?
If you didn't use it, I would assume.
I didn't, but it only lasts 10 minutes, so I don't know how long it's been between.
I would say if you were given it, you would still have it by now.
Okay. Oh! 17!
Alright, let's see here.
Oh.
Ah!
He looks at you, his tone kind of calms down a little bit as he leans back on the table and says, "Well, I appreciate your words, and I understand what the princess is here to try to do.
As he pauses, I'm going to ask him if that pain is still bothering him. I seem to notice you winced.
The pain is nothing for what those wolves will endure. As I was saying, I appreciate what you're trying to do and what the princess has come here to achieve. you are not one of the crows of this village. We will listen to them. And only them. We will not be speaking with those damned wolves.
To be more clear, Commander, you will be speaking with us while the crows are, or while the wolves are present.
To be more clear, you can leave my tent.
I will ask one thing. Well, two things, to be perfectly frank. You respect the daughter of the leader of Odin's Eye, Astrid, correct?
I respect her, but I do not follow her.
But you follow the leader. You follow her father. I ask this because my father and her father are two clansmen who work hand in hand together. I ask you, if your leader trusts my father, I implore you to trust me in this time. Can I roll one more persuasion check?
It's going to be a disadvantage again.
That's fine. It's worth a shot. Ah! That was worth a shot.
And I'm going to roll at advantage for him.
Oh, God.
I appreciate your words, Crow, like I've said already. But unless the king himself wishes to weigh in on this, we won't be speaking with the wolves. We won't have anything to do with them unless it means cutting them down outside of this village. They killed one of ours and they continue their attacks on our settlements. They don't deserve the courtesy of a chat.
When was the last known attack done by the wolves on Odin's Eye?
That
Do I
is
know that?
going to be a very difficult history check.
I'll try it. I'd like to try it.
You can certainly try.
11.
You know that in recent times, it's been fairly frequent, but you don't know when the last one was.
Okay.
And especially with the arrival of Fimbulwinter, attacks have been increasing. That's why these patrols have been sent to the borders.
And does this settlement lie within the borders of the Odin's Eyes ruling, or is it like just on the outskirts so they kind of feel the need to protect it because it's so close?
This settlement, and I believe I gave this to you before, this settlement is actually in wolf territory.
Okay.
But it's considered neutral ground due to the icy crows who run it.
Got it. Okay.
And the eye followed the wolves here.
Okay.
But when he's done saying that, he kind of just turns his back again and begins looking at his maps.
Commander, were you not sent on patrol to monitor the border settlements, not staying here? That doesn't seem like your mission at the current time. This is more directed just as a general question to see what he's thinking.
He responds with, I may be a little hurt, but I'm not against throwing you out my tent myself if I have to. I told you to leave once, and if I have to speak again, princess or not, I will throw you out.
I know what I want to say on our way out loud enough for him to hear, but I can't articulate it in a sentence that would possibly trigger him to have more of a conversation about it. How would I word that?
I almost want to say something along the lines of, my father had such great respect for you, but you're letting your feelings about this situation blind your judgment, but I don't know how to say it.
See, and I want us to exit and Gwen talking about how the leader of the wolves has been acting more vicious, and if only we had proof that something was going wrong with him, we could bring justice to the eye. So I don't feel like that's like what I want to get across, but I want to get across that something weird is going on with the Odin's Eyes, the wolves leader. We know that something's weird's going on, and now we're looking for evidence. And I want to,
so along the lines of me saying that his feelings about this situation is blinding his judgment, along with the fact that we think there's something more going on than just petty squabbles.
Yeah, and that we know that we know that something's going on with the leader of the wolves, and that something's wrong, and it's probably causing him to be extra violent, and if only we had proof of that. Like, I feel like that, I just don't know. I don't know how to articulate that to really get my point across in character. Like, I'm kind of struggling with that.
I mean, we can just say that you say it.
Yeah,
I want to say
what we're generally trying to say, but we just
something in that context. And if he doesn't respond, that's fine. But essentially, like, I want to say
we're both saying something as we walk away.
Yeah, like Gwen's muttering, like she knows something's going on with the wolves leader. He's acting more irrational than normal. He's lashing out. If only we had proof of his just like abundance of anger, like something along that lines.
As you say this, as you both leave, you can hear a slam from inside the tent, and he comes kind of not staggering, but he's still wincing in pain as he comes kind of forcefully outside of the tent, and gets like almost right up in your faces as his soldiers also stand too, and says, proof is the dead bodies left at the village that they massacred. Of course I'm letting my feelings get this. They killed one of ours too. If you tell the crows that they are murderous bastards, the wolves, then they'll be kicked out of this village and we can handle the justice. And he turns around and looks at his soldiers and says, get back to your posts. And walks back inside his tent.
Gwen just kind of looks at Sturmir and says, as they're walking away, she doesn't want to start any more conflict, and she very softly says, I do believe that the Odin's Eye is in the wrong here. I do think that something is wrong with the wolves, but this isn't their territory. This isn't their location. This isn't their land. They shouldn't be here causing such a problem.
I have to agree. I don't know why they're staying.
Do you think it's a response to maybe the attack he received from the leader of the wolves?
This doesn't seem like Commander Gunner that my father so respected and that he trained me as well. He's acting irrational. His judgment's being clouded.
Does he have an item upon him that is different from when you saw him last? I know it's been a while, but to be perfectly honest, she kind of looks down at her own clothes and she's like, I
You
don't
can
wear
roll
different clothes often.
A history check with disadvantage.
Okay, I'm gonna use... And I don't know if it'll help at all. What is it? 6?
Yeah,
D6?
Which I can tell you, does not help. You do not recall.
I do have another inspiration.
So you can reroll.
Ooh.
Still at disadvantage.
Okay. History.
So 15?
Even with a 15, due to being away for so long, I mean, yeah, you don't really know. But as you two are standing there talking about this, we are gonna move to the warehouse.
Kind of felt like a parlay is what isn't going to happen. Just that, based on that.
And Gwyn, if you can, not Gwyn, Astrid, if you could bring your token to this map, please.
Sure. Let's see how it goes for me today, shall we?
This is a completely different game. You're going to be fine.
That is never true, but thank you. I appreciate the support.
Let's see, or will I have to drag it?
I still can't.
Alright, here we go. Where are you? Here you are. Can you move it?
I can. Huzzah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Tobias and Astrid, you enter the wolf warehouse.
Okay. Is it fair to say, like, as we greet Tully on the way in, I whisper a prayer to Odin? Odin, lend me your insight. We do not want to die today.
Is this your guidance?
Yes. I'm gonna use that on myself.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
You walk in, the two wolves greet you. You can see Oleg standing there, sitting on a crate in the back.
Oh, I did leave my weapons with Gwyn. So.
Okay. So you are
Completely unarmed.
unarmed.
Burfin, Kanari, and Oleg. We've come to discuss matters of a parlay.
You just hear the loudest, laugh in the back from Oleg. Like the second you say those words. And Oleg shouts from the back, "You really expect us to talk with those murderers?"
I don't expect you to talk. I expect you to help us pursue the truth. If you're in the right, you should be pursuing this.
I have been pursuing it. I've been pursuing it with the crows. The ones
Then
who
why
rule
not
this village.
cooperate with us?
Astrid just puts her hand on Tobias's arm and says, "Worthy leader of the wolves, would you mind if I speak to you for a moment?"
I'm going to ask real quick, I'm going to ask Tobias to do a persuasion with disadvantage.
Okay.
I'll be impressed if this gets above a 15.
Close.
Yeah.
For
And then
sure.
I'll add my guidance. I don't think it's gonna make much a difference here, but maybe the difference between a 10 and an 11? Okay, so it's a 10. If that's the difference between failure and catastrophic disaster.
So I'm gonna do something here. Before you begin speaking, Astrid, Oleg pipes up, and he takes out his assault axe and just kind of points it in your direction. And says, "You may be one of us, boy. But supporting the Eye, working with the Eye, walking with them, it's a quick way to earn a mark on your back."
I tell him honestly that I haven't, so I'm gonna say this. I have not spoken to the members of the Eye. I only listen to what they say. And I know somewhere in here, in this village, there's something strange going on.
Astrid, were you wanting to say something, or are you letting Tobias continue the conversation?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and just do what I did earlier. You know, we can just move it in time and say, "Yes, worthy leader of the wolves, would you listen to me for a moment?"
And who would I be listening to?
Good question. How do you
My
present
name
yourself?
is Astrid. I am the youngest child of Asbjorn, and I believe that in many things you have been wronged by the Eye in this situation. Okay.
Well, not you, Tobias. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Well, I guess, yeah, Astrid, you could roll too, but I do want to.
Oh, sorry.
I do want
Oh, wait,
Tobias
so-
to roll an insight.
I thought you said no to Tobias.
Oh, that's what I heard too.
Yeah, okay.
That's kind of how I understood that.
Oh, yeah, well, I said no, I want Tobias to roll.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I didn't roll very well.
Yeah, you don't see anything on either
Okay.
faces of the guard, Tobias. Astrid, as you say, who you are, and, can you listen to me? If this man's face was, cartoon steam coming out of the ears, beat red, that would have been almost instant at the sound of "I'm the daughter of King Asbjorn.
Yep.
And he begins walking forward, still axe in hand.
Mm-hmm.
And he, whether you're talking during this as he's walking up or not, he approaches and just seems to have like one, like he is, there is anger in this man's face. As he just looks at both of
go
you.
ahead.
No, go.
I kind of put my arm, I do the mom arm across Tobias. And I say, I don't wish blood spilled on my behalf. And then I'm going to actually kneel down and say, Oleg, I am here to beg you to help us figure out what's going on. There is something great at play here above and beyond the terrible, terrible thing that has happened in that village. And I wish only to separate out the truth of what you have said, as well as the underlying cause for this horrible event.
Okay. Give me a... This is kind of, you're trying to talk with the leaders who have a deep hatred for either side. So this will be a very tough persuasion at disadvantage.
Okay.
That's still pretty good. Let's see here.
So I'm gonna keep talking. I'm gonna say I am humbling myself here to ask for your cooperation as we talk with both groups on the steps of the Temple of the Icy Crows.
He stays his axe and says, I'll listen to you. But only here will I listen to you.
I am grateful.
If you want us to leave this warehouse and join the Eye and talk, and as he kind of says that, there's definitely like venom as he looks at you, Astrid. There's a deep venom in his voice. He says that will not happen. We will talk here, and only here.
I mean no disrespect. I ask only to understand what is on your mind better. Why are you averse to speaking in front of the temple?
We will not join murderers at the temple. They killed 2 of ours and an entire village. And the king well, he's getting old in age. May be difficult for him to have another daughter.
To be honest, sir, he has plenty.
I mean, you did say you're the youngest, so...
Mhm. He has many, and yes, it is unavoidable. My name and my lineage. That is why I did not attempt to conceal them from you. But we have been sent, my friends and I count Tobias among them, have been sent out at the behest of those who are attempting to discover if this is Fimbulwinter indeed, and there have been so many supernatural disturbances that we ourselves have witnessed and that we have heard, that really that's why I'm here. I could try to bank on my father's name. I know that that won't work with you. I could try to bank on my father's name with the commander, but really, I prefer to be the one who provides the icy crows with the truth.
Give me just a straight persuasion. That's pretty good.
If you come to the parlay in peace, and if we persuade the eyes to join us there, and if they break the peace of the parlay, I will fight at your side. But know that I will do the same the other way too. But I swear to you, if they break the peace of parlay, I will fight with you.
He kind of chuckles a little bit at hearing this and says, "You're lucky you have a wolf with you.
I know.
will not say yes, I will not say no, but we will think on it."
That is all I can reasonably ask, and I appreciate that more than I can say. Can I do, I don't know, perception check or investigation to see if he has anything that looks like a talisman or something
Ooh,
super
okay.
duper magic?
I am going to ask for... yeah, this is good. I will ask for an investigation from both of you.
Okay.
Tobias,
Mhm.
I will give you advantage.
Okay. Oh, there you go. Oh.
No.
Loki, damn it!
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
Loki's at
Oh,
it again, boys.
Wow.
Let's hope a
So-
17 was good enough.
Astrid, we're gonna go back in time a little bit.
Okay.
So I don't know
Cool.
what your reactions would be as this happens.
Okay.
As he approached you with his axe in hand and was being pretty aggro and, spitting venom your way,
Mm-hmm.
there was a split second where as he was, speaking down to you and talking of his, hatred for the Odin's Eye, for a split second, it seemed like from under his helm, his teeth were more fang-like than normal.
Okay. Yep. Okay.
That is all.
All right. Okay. Might I inquire when you think you might have had sufficient time to think? I don't ask to rush you, just to hear
Gauge your own
what you
timeline.
prefer. Yeah, thank you.
One of my rangers will find you when time is right.
She's gonna stand up slowly, and if he makes any sign of, thinking she's being aggressive or whatever, she'll stay put. But she'll get up very slowly and give him a deep bow.
He doesn't make any movements, but you do notice that his hand is on his axe this entire time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay.
He has not put his axe away. It has been in his hands, firmly gripped this entire time. He has been firmly grasping.
Yes.
Firmly grasp it.
We will await word from you, and I thank you. And she sort of pats Tobias and sort of smiles and says, "You raise very good wolves."
He kind of just turns back to walk away.
Yeah, Tobias nods at Canary and Burfin, since Oleg has turned, and will follow Astrid out the room.
Both of you give me perception checks, please.
Okay. Oh, thank God.
There you go. There it is. There it is.
Despite this conversation and this, seemingly, working together for now, maybe not fully working together, both of you hear it because he's not really trying to hide it. As you both walk away, you can hear Oleg kind of mutter under his breath, "A wolf and an eye together. Embarrassing." And he walks away.
I'm not gonna respond to that shit.
Nope.
I'm not 8 years old.
We're out.
Alright, we're out. Let's get
Astrid
outta
is
here.
being very, walking out, not rushing.
I assume you guys walk into us as we're walking up to the
And
front.
as soon as-
at some point you guys walk out and you do run into each other, you do meet back up.
But as soon as we get out of the tavern, Astrid just grabs Tobias and clutches him and is just like, "Okay."
That was very impressive, Princess.
It was stupid, is what it was.
Oh, I agree, but it was still impressive nonetheless.
So how'd your luck turn out? Ours wasn't all that great.
I think we would consider that a success. The wolves are open to a parlay.
That
I
makes
don't-
one
Well,
of us.
I don't
Kind
know
of.
if the
Kind of.
commander has something on him that he didn't before, or it's just the situation, but he's not being himself. His judgment's very, very clouded.
Okay, let's get somewhere secluded, because I have to tell you all something. that I noticed.
You can
And
go
also-
to you guys do have the house of the
Right.
villager who first invited you to town. You guys, that's where I'm assuming you guys have
Yeah.
been staying for this entire
Yeah.
period
Yeah.
of the village.
And also, does anyone have alcohol for the sake of the gods?
It's back in the inn.
Unless you all drank it, one of your rewards ages ago was multiple casks of honey mead.
I don't know if we.
I know I didn't.
I
drink
don't
it.
have that.
Drank that, so.
Yeah, this was.
I think
before
we left
Skirmir
it.
Joined the party.
Yeah, I think we left it with our other stuff or whatever in safekeeping. We didn't bring it with us. Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
We could always get a keg before we walk to the house. We could go.
Sure, but I'm
Bye.
not going back in there right now.
I'll walk in and buy a keg and come back out. How much is it going to cost to buy?
You won't be able to buy a keg.
Or a keg or whatever he'll give me. The most he'll give me, like.
He
Oh,
will
so
give
horn.
you. He will give you 4 horns of mead for 2 silver each.
She's. What's the
I've
convert?
always been bad with the convert.
6 silver. So
6 silver.
take away 1 gold and give yourself 4 silver.
Wait, 4 horns for 2 each.
That's 8.
That's 8.
Oh, 8. Sorry.
So take away 2 gold?
So take away 1 gold because they're worth 10, and give
Okay,
yourself 2
10.
silver.
Yeah, okay. Get it. I'm actually going to leave the extra 2 silver on the counter as a tip to him as I walk out.
All right, let's go home, talk, and drink.
So as they're walking, Astrid just slams one. Just absolutely slams one.
She drinks hers before we even get to the house.
Oh, absolutely.
I hold on to
Five
mine,
yours
but as soon as
down.
we get in the house, I give it to Astrid.
She was gonna take it if you didn't give it to her.
I'm just like keeping it away from. We're like playing keep away until we get to the house.
Right.
You guys get to the house. It's a rather small house. You know, it's like entrance and then no door, but like open, like kitchen living area. Where
There's
the figure,
enough that we could just sit around a table.
Yeah, there is a table, and the figure who welcomed you is there. I gotta find his name again. His
See if
name
I can find it before you do.
was Gordy. Gordy.
What?
Yep. Good man Gordy.
The mushroom gatherer.
The mushroom
It is
gatherer.
Gordy. You're right.
He's in the kitchen.
It would have been funnier if he had, been a blacksmith, because then he could have been Gordy of Fort.
Well, he's in the kitchen, and he says, "Oh, I didn't realize you were coming back so soon. I would have prepared more bowls, but I have stew ready if any of you are hungry."
Do
Much appreciated.
you have any ale?
Not much, but I have a little bit. Yes.
We may need a little bit.
Sure. Help yourselves to the food. I'll go to the back and get what ale I have. And he hobbles to the back room.
So I assume we all just sit down as Astrid slams another one.
She slams another one, and then she just, puts her head down on the table and says, without looking up, "So, Gwen, you know that thing about not being stupid?"
Yes, I'm pretty sure that I warned you to not being stupid, but you came back alive, so you couldn't have been that dumb.
I don't
It was
know,
impressively
Tobias.
Stupid.
On
It
a
was very
scale-
impressively stupid.
At least it was impressive.
Yeah, that's actually not bad of praise, to be honest with you. So I'm inclined to say well done before I even heard what you did.
As I drink half of mine.
Astrid, can you do me a favor?
Uh-huh.
Can you give me a history,
Oh my
please?
Uh-huh.
Okay, continue.
Okay. I was scared. So, okay, we have a lot to talk about, but the main thing... Okay, there are several main things. Yes, I'm still alive, that's good. I'm not sure why, but I am. Okay. There is something deeply wrong with Oleg.
We suspected as much,
That
but
was-
what
yeah.
specifically?
Here's the thing. He has fangs.
Thanks.
Like, can you describe them?
Like wolf fangs, like not a necklace or anything, in his mouth. Listen, Tobias, I don't think you saw it because you were getting ready to, throw yourself in front of me, which I appreciate. And I'm glad it didn't come to that. And I didn't want you to, but I did want you anyway. Okay, so, listen.
Calm yourself, princess. Just explain.
Sorry. I think you have all been in the hall and heard stories of shape changers from my mentor. And we have seen plenty of indication that many of the old stories are truth.
Many more than I would like to be.
Exactly. And I don't know if it has always been the case. Maybe something happened within the last year or two, but I think Oleg is either a shape changer by nature or he has been infected by one. If he is one by nature, I am willing to bet that there is something in this greater picture. Everything's becoming unnatural, right? We're seeing forces on nature that are supernatural. So if he is a shape changer by nature, he might be finding it harder to control himself. Hence, we saw the barking by the temple.
The snarling, yeah.
The snarling.
Eh,
And he had fangs. And I am concerned that the commander's wound wasn't going away, and if you say he's acting irrationally, perhaps he's been bitten.
it is quite possible. I don't know if I could get close enough again to, I don't know, try to heal it, or I don't even know if I can heal it.
I did some healing on it, so is he still
He's
fretful?
still
Is
in
he still...
pain.
It seemed better, but was definitely still
bothering him.
Yeah, like the lasting effects of an injury.
I mean, I don't want to brag, but at least not right now. I don't want to brag. But even if the wound hadn't healed perfectly, he shouldn't really be in pain from what I did to help him. And
Problem is when he turned around, he winced.
Sturmir, you know that I don't know, was
He
one of
wouldn't
my far more
usually-
reasonable...
He wouldn't usually treat me the way he did.
Oh, what happened?
And just his judgment. He threatened to throw us out, but we ended up walking out, and then he got in our faces.
That isn't him.
That's what I'm saying. His judgment is severely clouded. By something, I don't know what, but...
Did we were we able to figure out what was causing the forest versions of the Odin's Eye and the Wolves of the Shadows to be malicious spirits? Did we ever figure that out?
I will tell you. I will say yes, you did. The reason they lingered was due to the troll. They
wanted to be avenged.
Yeah, it was a unfinished business type deal, and the reason why they were malicious at first was because they needed to find they were testing your worth to make sure you would be able to kill the troll, unlike unlike them. They fell to the troll, so them attacking you was a test, essentially.
Okay. And then another kind of out of game question is the town that they're claiming the massacre happened at is a 3 days travel from where we currently are, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And we can't leave at the moment because of said situation.
Yeah, well, my brain was like, if it's closer, then Sturmir and Gwen could go because Tobias, kind of the representative of the wolves, and Astrid, the representative of Odin's Eye. If like the two of them were consistently
That
seen
could keep
present,
them at
then
bay. We could
yeah.
still split up and do that, even if it is 3 days.
Tell me what you're
Probably
thinking
travel
in
one
terms of-
direction.
Yeah, tell me what you're thinking in terms of what would be the ideal situation for going there. What's the motivation?
So it's not to say that the people here are acting the exact same way as the spirits, but if the conflict that happened there, and maybe the two leaders did get, for lack of a better term, infected with something, the source of the infection could be found there. Even if we went there,
natural.
Exactly. And if we went there and just scoped it out and found out, hey, yeah, there's actually something kind of freaky going on here, we could come back and I don't know
More
if get
proof.
you guys, or yeah, we come back with more proof of being like, hey, you both encountered blank situation. Do you remember that? Because you saw the Wolves of the Shadow being all blah blah blah, but do you remember yada yada? And then we might get a yes, and then be like, well, we think that yada yada is the reason why the wolves went crazy and started killing people, and I think in order for you to exact your revenge, you need to take out this source first, because if it can turn an enemy into even more of an enemy, it can turn allies into enemies, and that's not a good thing. And then basically present that same side to the wolves.
It could be worth it if you could keep the two parties from doing anything.
I think
It's such a powder keg right now already.
it's already a powder keg, I agree. And while preventing fighting is the ideal solution, I think we all feel, splitting up to investigate something potentially dangerous, I mean, imagine if there were only two of us fighting that troll.
I don't know. it
Splitting
wasn't
the
there.
party is a very risky move. However, you have given me an idea. The Icy Crows are looking for a decision on what to do regarding the two clans. It seems that we're in agreement that it's very strange that the Odin's Eye have lingered here. Out of character, did you guys already tell Tobias that shit, I was gonna say something. I just lost my train of thought. The whole transformation at the Odin's Eye camp, like every single detail has been shared.
Basically,
already, right?
we've relayed details already. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so
He's acting
Gunnar
rationally,
is only-
clouded.
Gunnar is only going to listen to the Icy Crows, and they are not supposed to be here. I think it's an easy enough verdict to say, regardless of what they want to do, if the Icy Crows tell them to go back to Odin's Eye territory, that avoids all conflict. However, we four are possibly the only ones here who necessarily care about the truth. What if we bring the Wolves of the Shadow with us to Dre Mandibu?
Do you think they would go?
Well,
The better question is, do you think that the Odin's Eye would follow?
If
Yeah.
the commander is being as irrational as, we're seeing,
Most
yes,
likely.
they absolutely would. And here's the other thing. I am really suspecting that the commander has been infected and is in the process of turning or whatever, so if we let him get out of our sight, that's another problem we're letting out into the world. But what you said, Tobias, about the Icy Crows made me think, what if we go to the Icy Crows and give them the idea that this is actually way more than a territorial dispute, and see if they will at least talk to us about if we suspect Oleg of being a shape changer, like a berserker who's getting out of control, and that possibly the commander is now too. I wonder if that would change their stance.
the Icy Crows.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if that would exactly change their stance. They'd still be neutral if they kicked both of them out.
Right.
Or
They wouldn't care.
if they'd be more willing to address that problem.
I don't think they care. They just want one of these clans out to prevent any fighting within the confines of the village.
One or both.
One or both.
There's somebody in there that we're supposed to be talking to,
Yeah.
right? To get
And
more
we can't
insight.
until we do this.
Right, but what I'm saying is, if we can at least say, look, this absolutely touches on what we're trying to talk to you about in terms of the world going nuts.
This touches more on supernatural than petty squabble.
It frames it very, very differently.
This isn't just a territorial petty squabble. This is something supernatural.
Exactly.
And while I fully believe that that is the case, that there is more going on here, it becomes a mountain of a feat if we want to accomplish any progress by convincing all three factions here, not just the Wolves and Odin's Eye, that there are bigger problems. They're not concerned with the coming of Fimbulwinter or any other supernatural entities. So
I think my point is that the Icy Crows would be, if we brought this information to them.
It's the whole reason we came here.
well,
Can I roll on that?
But I mean, they would be in terms of us saying, look, this is not just like a normal dispute. There's something here that the Icy Crows are going to be the ones who have the knowledge to deal with.
What does Gwyn want to roll for?
To be perfectly frank, is this something that the higher up Icy Crows would actually care about? Because Astra makes a good point. Like, is this whole thing something that would be considered a priority for the Icy Crows as a whole?
Because right now they're looking
Or is
at
it
it as a squabble they want solved.
Right.
Give me
Right.
Give me a history, Gwyn.
You bet. 14.
The crows probably not. They probably wouldn't care. They'd probably just say, we have other business to deal with. We are dealing with kings and men who rule. Deal with this yourself.
That surprises me.
The crows are those who stay by the side of great men and the kings of the land and preside over greater things than a potential berserker in a village.
Even if it's their village.
It's not their village. This isn't an Icy Crow village.
I think it is.
Oh, it is. Sorry.
They run the place, so...
Yeah,
There's a
they're
freaking
at
flag
least
in the
in...
upper left-hand corner of this image. I should pay more attention.
And I will say that for the 14 for this village, rather than just Icy Crows as a whole, it's unlikely for the crows here to care either. They just want them gone.
Okay.
If you came up and said, hey, one of these guys is a troll, they'd probably say, okay, get him to leave and we'll talk with you.
Yeah. Like,
the situation doesn't
so,
change.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess diving back into character, Tobias would just finish what he was saying. The swiftest way to kill two birds with one stone, investigating these supernatural occurrences that are significant to us and no one else, would be to investigate Dremandabu and prevent fighting. The
Which
only
then
way...
becomes the mountain of a feat, because we'd have to deal with both.
Well, certainly not, I believe. If we send the wolves away, the Odin's Eye will follow. But if we send the Odin's Eye home, the wolves will not follow.
That does make sense. I do agree.
Okay.
So, what I'm getting is that we're gonna tell the Icy Crows to get the Odin's Eye to go back to their territory.
What if... What if I try to tell the commander he has to go all the way back and talk to my father?
I mean...
Doubt he will listen. He said princess or not during our conversation. He doesn't follow
Wasn't that about...
Astrid.
But wasn't that about whether he would talk to the wolves or not? I thought that was his very
it is, but
response to the wolves. Okay.
I don't think he's gonna listen to you just saying to go talk to your father either. He said he'd want word directly from the king, not from you.
How long a journey is it back to home? Hi.
How long a journey back
Longer than 3 days.
Okay.
Just hear me out, or better yet, how long a journey is it back to where we came from?
Can you put us on the other map?
So here's the world map. To get back home to Hailhofen, you have to cross mountains.
Okay, so where were we? We were at Uppsala, right?
Yes, that is around the same journey. That will be, 3-4 days to get back there.
Okay.
The Great Wood, as I explained previously, is a lot bigger than what this map showed, or what this map shows.
No, that's fine. Let me just talk through this out loud, in character, out of character. It's going to be pretty much the same thing. What I was just thinking was, if we paid what is his name? If we paid Manfred to take his goods to Uppsala and told the eyes that they needed to go with him and that we were also going to throw the wolves out of the village. And if we gave a message to be delivered because that's a bigger village. They've got a lot of smart magic people there. They might know how to treat him because he needs help. Right?
You're talking about treating the commander?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I think, unless Gwen and I can put our heads together and see if we can think about anything we have heard about treating someone who is infected in this way.
Give me a medicine check.
Okay. Gwenny, have you studied a lot more medicine than me?
That's a good question. Have I?
Mine's pretty okay.
The percentage of this is a 0. I'm a history nerd, not a medical nerd. I'm a nature nerd, not a medical nerd.
Can Gwen help me think about it, though?
Can I help her think about it?
Which will be advantage.
Thank you.
Hey! Damn, look at your medicine.
Yeah.
Just because it's been fun to lead you on. The commander's wound is from an arrow.
Thank you so much.
You're such a
I kinda
smart ass.
thought
You son of a
It
bitch.
has been an arrow wound. An arrow wound.
Arrow wound. The arrow wounds are real.
It was just an arrow wound from the Wolves of Shadow, right?
Yep.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So he's just acting irrational for no reason.
Because he's maybe it's infected and he's in pain and he's an older
I'm not even
dude.
sure he's infected or in pain. I'm
I
saying
mean, like a typical,
He's
a
acting
normal
completely
infection.
irrational. for
yes,
this
he's
whole
irrational,
Like-
but he's just like
Right.
a dude.
Yeah.
You know what's gonna
No,
be funny?
I'm saying like
It's gonna be funny
What?
when I come out here and I say he's not acting irrational at all. He just really hates the wolves.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's still kind of irrational, but
I think there's probably a long history leading up to that, in terms of these conflicts. But okay, so that's kind of a
Right, but there's nothing supernatural about the way he's acting.
right.
not the commander at least. We know for sure.
Right, we know something's going on
Oleg.
with Oleg. But, yeah. We have to tackle problem B, but we have to go through problem A first. I
Yeah,
think that's where
you're
we're at.
right.
So what's the play?
You're right.
I don't know if I'm the only one that feels like this, but maybe send the Odin's Eye back to their own territory.
Yes, I agree.
Okay.
Because there's no reason for them to stay here because their orders were to patrol the borders.
So is that the plan?
I think so. I agree with that plan. Because as far as the king is concerned, and as far as his orders are concerned, that's all he needs to do. He doesn't need to be here.
There's no reason for him to stay.
Ashley,
There-
Gwen, where do you stand on this?
I completely agree. There's no point at them staying here outside of just revenge as a whole. He seems to be under the impression that the Wolves of the Shadow are attacking, are attacking Odin's Eye villages. I get that, I respect that, but he's now taken the fight to the Wolves of the Shadow's territory, and that's not his territory to fight or try to protect. So he does need to go back, but if he's really concerned about the Wolves of the Shadow attacking more of their lands, then he needs to be setting patrols at their lands and camps, not within their territory. Not within the Wolves of Shadow's territory.
That's what I
this
mean.
is their territory. Yeah.
Yeah. I need to get back on Odin's Eye territory and not push borders.
Astrid, your thoughts?
I think that that's reasonable because I do think, camping out in this neutral territory is not
Did you say
the
almost
play.
disobeying orders?
Yeah.
Not quite as extreme
Here's
as
the thing.
like treachery, but he's
Right.
just not doing what he was told. He's,
Yeah. No, I think that's a very good way to put it. I totally agree with that. It'll be interesting to see if they'll go or not. But I also think, here's the weird thing.
To put this out there, he did say he would listen to whatever the crows said.
He did, huh? Yeah, okay, good. Here's the thing that I'm kind of, struggling with right now. Just because we make the eyes leave, which I do think is the right play, I think they shouldn't be here. That's not as if we are siding with the wolves,
Correct.
or rather, we've got an Oleg problem that isn't necessarily entirely
the current
a wolves
situation
problem.
that involves all three parties.
Yeah.
The eye needs to go.
Yeah.
It's not saying we're siding with the wolves or anything. They just need to go.
Is it worth it telling the commander we are going to deal with this problem, so you don't have to leave thinking that the wolves are just going to, be able to skip off into the woods scot-free?
We could, I suppose, after we
Yeah.
tell them, or the crows tell them, basically to beat it.
Yeah, we can pass judgment, and if you want to console them, that's totally up to you.
I just
Princess.
wonder if that's more likely to make them go as opposed to having hostilities break out, no matter how the crows rule.
If hostilities break out after the Icy Crows pass their judgment, then they are definitely in the wrong.
I
Yeah.
agree.
And I did make a promise to Oleg about that, so,
I don't want to, but I will. I will
Yeah.
fight them.
yep, shame.
So it sounds like
I will invoke the wrath of Thor and Odin upon them.
a vote against
I
the
think
Odin's
so.
Eye. You all leave the little building and prepare to gather the villagers who will support this decision to head towards the Temple of the Icy Crows. And that is where we will fade to black for this session.
Oh, no.
Just as we're about to resolve.
We will get
I think.
the end results of this in our next session. We have spent
Yeah.
quite a lot of time here in this village,
This situation required a lot of thought,
and we are
so
getting close to a solution.
Yep.
So see you
Everybody
all,
dies. That's a solution.
See you all next time on our journey to Ragnarok. Say goodbye to YouTube, everyone.
YouTube.
Goodbye, YouTube.